Ascension in the Altar of Condemned is the debut full-length album from Deconsekrated, a Temuco, Chile-based death metal quartet, and I would describe them as an atmospheric death metal quartet. You're looking for something along the lines of the incantation-esque death metal that we've found from Chile since the early 90s even. And their style is maybe not directly related to those types of bands off the bat, or when we go to their earlier demos and their first recording. Basically, it was a duo that formed, I think, during the pandemic or nearby, and they were just getting the old school death metal sound to work with whatever they were doing at the time. And eventually some members were replaced, and they worked up a different lineup for the band, and the result is this full-length album. I don't know all of the details on who played on it and whatnot, beyond the fact that talented drummer Christoph Klingbein played on the sessions for this record, as far as I understand, and he does a lot to accelerate their sound and the precision of it through his session work. And he's a fantastic, talented drummer, and the way that fits itself into this sort of doomed and atmospheric style, it's pretty interesting once we get into the sort of details of it. So we'll cut into a track here just to get an idea of the atmosphere of the recording and the attack of the band. So if we really cut down to the few songs on here that really focus on the riff, we are getting some of the dual rhythm guitar construction of Morbid Angel of a certain era. We're getting a little bit of, I would say, Mortal Throne of the Nazarene sort of guitar phrases. Otherwise, we get a little bit of the doomed and slow pacing. That sort of dynamic is inherent to the language they're speaking here. But we get different types of vocals in performance here, where it might have a choral moment. There might be a little bit of a keyboard here or there, but mostly it's more of a wretched and expressive and kind of disgusted vocal performance, which is pretty interesting per the themes and everything of this record. It kind of fits in, and they keep it to a pretty slim result. It's not a very long album, and a lot of it sort of fills in space with different ideas that I think are pretty good at honing in on what's different about the band, but don't fully go there all the way. I had similar comments about Infamous, their record at the end of last year, but this is a little bit different in its style and the way that it approaches the riff. There may be less of them and more repetition, and the momentum of the album is a little bit off and on at times. So I think they've done well on this debut to showcase what they're all about and what they're capable of now, and I think that it didn't really shock me that with the style of this record, but it was a great listen. And I had similar comments about similar albums in the past, so no great big surprise there. I think the album art is a pretty fine result. I think the production is a good balance of both raw and pretty sharp performances, and it has a successful conjuration of atmosphere here, which pushes us through the visualization pretty well. So very strong death metal album. I think one it might be easy to overlook for how short it is and how maybe you've not heard of the band before, but I think this is a great introduction to what they do and the potential they have in this style. So interested to see what they do next, and I think they have their a drummer has joined the band at this point, so it'll be interesting to see how different album number 2 is from this one. So go ahead and check it out. Very short album, not very demanding for a full listen, and see what you think. Go ahead and read my review if you'd like more of my thoughts.